Bernie Sanders is running for president, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't like to get shit done. Now, according to a tally of the Senate votes, Bernie Sanders has only missed about 4% of his Senate votes, while also introducing legislation, for example, the Keep It in the Ground bill, which essentially is the biggest fossil fuel legislation to have been even presented during this election cycle, maybe even in the past few years, as well as introducing an act to remove marijuana from the scheduled drug list. So he's introducing legislation, he's voting on legislation, he's a busy, busy man. Now, he was on MSNBC earlier with Andrea Mitchell to kind of talk about this, and she made a comparison between him and Marco Rubio. So let's take a look at this clip, and then we'll talk about it.
Let me ask you a final question about a Republican, Marco Rubio. He has said that he hates being in the Senate. He has missed 42% of his votes since declaring his candidacy. You have missed, by our count, only 4% of your votes. What is it about being in the Senate? And you're in the minority, he's in the majority. What is it that you find fulfilling, and why do you keep showing up for work?
Well, it's kind of what I'm paid to do, and my job is, what I'm paid to do right now is to represent the people of the state of Vermont in the United States Senate. That's what I do. I will miss votes, but I'm trying to miss as few as I possibly can. I am extraordinarily proud to represent my great state in the Senate. We're working very hard on a number of issues. And while it is difficult and very time-consuming to be a full-time candidate and to be a full-time senator, that is at the moment what I'm trying to do.
Well, good luck out there on the campaign trail, and I don't want you to miss your plane because I know you're heading back for some votes. Thank you very much, Senator. Right. Good to be with you.
I love that right there, right? He actually wants to show up and do his job. Now, here's how many votes, okay? So I'm going to go through some of the votes that, or some of the candidates, and how many votes they've actually missed. And then I'm going to tell you why it's important. Now, here's how many votes Rubio and his Senate colleagues running for president have actually missed since announcing their candidacy for president. Now, Marco Rubio, as they mentioned, missed about 42% of his votes. Lindsey Graham, 48%. Oh, Lindsey, what are you doing? You're not even showing up on headlines. What are you doing? You're driving around by yourself. You can't go back to vote? Seriously. All right. Now, Rand Paul, this one stands out. Rand Paul only missed about 4 votes, missing 3% of his votes. Rand Paul did better than Bernie Sanders. Amazingly enough, Rand Paul seems more committed to his job than anyone else in the field. He's almost tied with Bernie Sanders. Well, both of them take their jobs seemingly very, very seriously. So big credit to Rand Paul on that one. Ted Cruz missed 29% of his votes. And, of course, as mentioned, Bernie Sanders only missed about 4%. Now, there's a caveat here with Lindsey Graham, as I mentioned. Lindsey Graham actually announced much later in the process. Rubio has actually missed more votes than Lindsey Graham during the same time frame. So still, Marco Rubio, what are you doing? What are you doing? If you hate your job so much, quit. Get out. Get out of the Senate. You're done. Go away if you don't like your job. All right, anyway. Now, on to the point of where it matters. Well, okay, so to me it does. Why? Because that's what they're paid to do. And Bernie Sanders said the same thing. It's because that's my job. Hey, if you don't show up to your job, you get fired. Except if you're Congress, who can't be fired. They hardly have to work as it is. And then there are some senators, like Marco Rubio, that can't even ask to show up for half their votes. What are we paying you for? You're ripping us off. Especially the people of Florida. You get paid to vote, not to fundraise, not to campaign. You have a job to do, and you better be doing it. Whether or not it matters. And there are some very important votes that have went through. I know maybe 1 or 2 doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but nonetheless, it's the principle. We pay you to go to Capitol Hill to represent us, and that's what you should be doing. As far as campaigning, you do that shit in your own time, dude. You beg rich people for money on your own time. As long as you're working for the Senate or the House or wherever political office, sorry, do your job. It's almost no different than Kim Davis. Do your job. And this goes for Democrats as well as Republicans. Don't think I'm just beating up on Republicans. Democrats miss a lot of votes too. For example, President Obama, while he was campaigning for president, missed about 38% of his votes. Come on, Obama. You're better than that. Do your job. Hillary Clinton missed 47% of her votes while campaigning back in 2007. But here's the thing, right? What it seems to be is that missing your votes seems to be pretty normal. And here's why Sanders and even Rand Paul stand out, is because they're committed to their job. They actually have a job to do, and they do it. And for Bernie Sanders, you know that if you elect him to be president, he's going to be committed to the job. He's going to do the job, and he's going to be fighting on the issues that you and I and everyone else find very, very important. And to me, that's why it matters.